Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Cagey's Beyond, and I'm glad to have you with us here. We are back here in our tree base, as you can tell, and we have been busy. I know the last episode I told you that we were going to be talking about or dealing with some chickens, and if you give you just a little bit of a hint, if you look very closely, you can kind of see a little bit of what we've been doing. And we'll get into that, a little bit of that as we go along. But I've got another project I want to start on. We'll be talking about in just a moment. But I need to get some supplies together, and I'll get over to where we're going to go in just a second. So let's see what we need. So one of the things we're wanting to craft today, and I've been wanting to craft for a while, is this thing right here. It takes 2 blocks of gold, a couple pieces of wood, 2 expensive diamonds, and it gives you this mega torch. Now, once we plop this down, we got to figure out where we want to plop it down. I'm thinking somewhere kind of in central here, or so like in here. This will stop all spawns in a 64 block radius around us, and one of the things we want to check is from right here. I think for now I would just place it there. Alright, one of the things I haven't showed you here is our farm, and I've had our farm producing peanuts earlier, stopped that, and I've had this one producing wheat. It's pretty simple to set up. I just had an energy cube, or a one dynamo going into an energy cube, and then 2 tanks of lava, and that way it wouldn't just constantly be running, and kind of give it a timer a little bit. The farmers are really simple, fairly simple to make. You need a little bit of infrastructure, and you need one machine. You got to make one machine, and I'll show you that here in a second. Each farmer takes 4 blocks of iron, 4 seeds, and 1 of these. That's the most complicated part of the farmer, are these, next to getting the end bar for the lava generator, whatever power you want it for it. But you need this black quartz, and so far I haven't found any to mine. In past I've been able to mine it in other packs. This one, so far, the only way I've been able to come up with is with you find the right machine here. Oops, here it is. It says it's between 0 and 45. I haven't found it, but there's another way you can make it. Is this, just craft it. So it's not too difficult. But I've had those going. Obviously you need to go get more lava and bring it over here. Matter of fact, while we're here, let's just don't have my wrench, but that'll work. And then we'll 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will definitely help us a lot. This has really been the bottleneck for the project I'm working on, that I haven't introduced yet, but I will soon. And we're just going to take the rest of the wheat with us too, and 1 of these. Alright, so that's pretty much that project. We're going to feed our cows as we go by. I'm hoping soon, once I get headway on this, we'll get some better things set up for our cows as well. And but this is all what we got, just a hole in the ground, and it works for now. And I did do one little thing, and we'll come over here and probably kill some small ones this way, but we'll try not to. Okay, so a couple made it, and then we just hold our wheat out and load the ones out of that pit over here. They'll grow up and we'll harvest them later. So yeah, pretty simple. Alright, that's it. as far as my farm goes, I think we'll come back here in a little bit. So we've located the general spawn area. It's right over here. And there's our chest. I completely forgot what we had in there, actually. I think we'll leave most of the rest of that. Chunk some stuff in here. The food items will definitely be coming in handy later, especially spice. We're gonna get some spice leaf going, and I don't need the lava tank, so we'll throw it up there. So what I need to do is, I'm pretty sure that's our actual spawn block. Let's just do. Okay. I'm going to disable my camera just because of the fact that keep yawning and no one wants to see that. Alright, so according to that, this block is spawn. Now what I'm trying to decide is sorry, I just saw the something die over there. I think in order to get a better perspective, first off, let's go ahead and mark. We're just going to use this for now. There. And we'll do a little stuff with it a little later. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these trees. I guess I ought to show you this list. So we have here, first off, this clipboard from the clipboard mod. It's pretty simple to make, and the great thing about it is I know Bibliocraft used to have this, and I always liked it, but here it gives you an actual working clipboard. You can make a checklist, and quite a bit. But if you notice all the way back here, this is Project Spawn. One of the things I'm planning on doing is, I think for each of our projects, or at least some of them, we're going to make one of these project lists, and I think that'll help us out a little bit to kind of get on track and such. And one of the things I'm noticing right off the bat, let's toss this here. We'll just throw this bed here for now. And alright, let's clear some of this out. We'll clear some of it out and level it off a little bit. Alright, so as we look at our list here, some of the things we're wanting to do is mark a spawn location. We're working on that right now. And then temp house, basics, supplies, and extra food. So those are basically what we're working on. That way, if someone were to come in, hint hint, as people joined, this would be where they would go. So that's what we're working on. Making sure it all lines up and looks good. And so I'll just keep plugging away on this a little bit. And I think, oops, mixed up a little bit. But I'll keep plugging away on this and show you here in a couple minutes. So here we are, we're a little bit later, and still have some holes to fill in from where I took out some trees. But this is our spawn area, and if we look at our checklist, mark spawn location, okay? So we've done that. This is actual world spawn, so right on this spot right here. And I can show you, if you were to do, there you go, right here. I did go ahead and just set it up like a block up, because every once in a while you can mess up and put your block down. I didn't want to see anybody suffocate because they were in the middle of this, so I changed it to a block higher. But the way you do that, by the way, in case you don't know, is this. And then just hit enter, and oops, hopefully I spelled it right, and it'll set it wherever you're standing. So that's only if you're opt on a server. And well, I actually kind of gave it away. Part 2 of this, temp house, otherwise just a, hey, I died, I'm at spawn, and it's night. So we have that there. I'm going to go ahead and take these out now. And I don't know, I'm trying to think about maybe doing a path to or from here a little later. But it's not much to look at, I know. I could do a little bit more, some micro blocks and such. But that's it. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at that. I'm not real crazy about that gap. I like it being narrow. Maybe we need to put it down one. Maybe that would help a little bit. But anyway, this is our little house in the swamp, and I don't know. I kind of liked it. And it's just like I said. I just threw it together. There's not much to it. And go inside here. I didn't bring any dyes with me, so this is just a temporary thing. I did build a DecoCraft bench, and I'll show you that in a minute. But just put some chests and furnace and extra supplies just to kind of hang out or get emergency supplies that you need. And then up here, set this up. So these are pretty simple. You just make instead of using white wool for a bed, you just use a colored wool, and it gives you that color. So, and then the books that we spawn in with, I've just put them in here on this bookcase. I was surprised to see this go in there. That's great. Anyway, so I guess the next move now. Oops. I can't figure out. Really need to move that into the corner. Maybe I'll do that. Try that again one more time. But the only thing we need to stock it up a little bit with some emergency supplies once we've died, and I think this place will be set because so we got the temp house, got the spawn location. Now we need see, we almost got phase A done. Now we need just extra food and some basic supplies here. So let's go get those. So we're back here. I promised to show you this deco bench here. And the way it works, it's pretty simple to craft. Let me get it and show you. Sorry about that. So there's two different ways to craft it. It just takes some simple dyes or this crafting clay. And what it is this makes your dye go a lot further, but you have to have sand and dirt, but it gives you 4 instead. And the way this table is, apologize. You can put regular clay in here to fill it up some. And then you can also put your dyes in here to fill this up. And then each item takes a certain amount of dye, and clay. So it shows you exactly what you can put. And by the way, on the clay you can put blocks or clay balls. But anyway, and you can go just down through here and make all kinds of stuff, from simple little toys for decorations to a few things that actually work. The chairs you can sit in, and I mean it's just a ton of stuff. And see, there's your tab filter. It goes all the way through. So it's just a big old list of what you can do, and I think they've added a few things that maybe they're new and I don't remember seeing them, but I haven't used it like tons and tons of stuff. Just a few items here or there to use. So a very handy thing for decorating. Let's see. So we come back to our list here, and I showed you where we are. Now I wanted the basic supplies and extra food. The idea being this: you die, end up back at spawn, and or emergency. Here is your kit. So a new set of boots, some wood, cobblestone, food, the tables, a stone sword there, and a net just in case you need to catch something. So that's pretty much equivalent of like a starter kit. And so let's go back and take a close look at this. We'll just jump on there, and there we go. Emergency place. I plan on putting a few things on the shelves later on, maybe adding a few things in just for decorations and stuff. I meant to bring some ties with me and dye those, but that's okay. So so we can come back to our handy dandy clipboard. Extra food, a little bits in there, so we'll go ahead and check that off. Basic supplies done. Phase A is done. So we'll work on the rest of that at a later date, and I'm kind of trying to decide what exactly I want to do with that. So we'll make our way back over to our main base for the next thing. So the next thing I'm wanting to show you is what I have been doing over here. I'll give you a little bit of a glimpse from a distance. I am Mr. Cooper. We'll try to stay up here. And you can see right now, getting a little bit of a glimpse. Now, take in mind, this is not the finished product. I'm working on function right now, and wanted to kind of get a lot of things in order, and then we'll add to it. Yes, I have been very busy, and you can see I've got a lot going on here. I have storage drawers. Let's show you this real quick. I can't. All right. So the key point in the storage drawers is, sorry, this drawer controller. Anything that's touching this, okay, connects to it from, I think, a 15 to either side of it, okay, above it, below it, any direction that's touching it. The front kind of needs to be, the front needs to be open, I believe, but it connects to, and anything touched on this will connect to all the drawers that are attached to it. Now the way this is made is pretty simple, and the drawers you can make, if you see the 2x2, 4x4 basic, we'll go to the half drawer, wait till it cycles back, the basic drawer. So again, you can use all different kinds of wood. That's a basic drawer, 32 stacks. And there are upgrades and redstone functionality on them. All kinds of things you can do with these. And then there's a simple thing somewhere in here of trim. Can't ever seem to find it, but there it is. This is just, now this can't hold anything, but what I've done is, you can barely see it through there. Someone's touching that, going under the floor, and then touching this side. And don't worry, I will get these to match up once I have something that can connect or move the drawers at a time. I gotta look on some tools. We'll pull these back out, and we'll
get all this to match up. We're going to make it all nice and fancy, nice lighting in the ceiling, and it's going to look really, really nice. But because they're touching, everything's connected, okay? So if I was to take some of these logs and just click on anything in my inventory that matches any of these drawers that's touching, we'll go into them. You can craft these keys on here, okay? That locks it to an item, that particular item, because otherwise, if it's empty, your drawer goes, hey, this drawer's empty, let me throw stuff in here. You can lock an empty drawer like this, and it won't put anything in there until you click something in it. And then this is to hide the labels. This is a personal key to lock it just for you. No one can touch it. This shows the quantities. If you notice the numbers all showing up without shifting on them, that key does that. So that's how on all these nesting pins, I'm going to show these to you, okay? Craft a nest, and I know I may have talked a little bit about this, but I lost. I'm having a hard time. I lost a video where I was doing all this. I don't know what happened. I think it's when we had that storm come through, and I lost a couple of videos. You take this, and you do this, okay? Now the nest by itself, you saw those over there on that side. When you get a new egg, you place the egg in there, and the timer will count down, and it'll hatch. If you notice, I had those redstone lamps above it. That speeds up the process. Now this thing here, it collects anything the chicken drops. Eggs, feathers. Every chicken drops a lot more feathers in this mod. You'll have them out your ears. I've actually got them getting voided now. And then the specialty items that they make. Okay, so let me come on back here. So I have chickens, more chickens, and hatchery. This is from the hatchery mod. These are all the different kinds of chickens we can get. There are some that you can craft. They've changed it. Now, the hard thing on this pack with me adding Biomes of Plenty is the chickens will only spawn in vanilla biomes, so it was very, 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 very difficult for me. I explored all this, every bit of that, looking for the chickens, for the gunpowder, for the flint, or not the gunpowder, the flint, sand, and everything else. Now, I just saw Enderman. We are still doing our ever-present hunt for Enderman. And hopefully this spider doesn't come up and wreck me. I see him on my map. Out here somewhere. Let's do a little parkour. Anyway, I'll continue to talk. So what you do is you take some basic chickens and you put two side by side in those hutches. And you can actually do it by feeding them as well. I'm gonna regret this. By feeding them as well, and they will. Basically the two will mix and make another one. And you go through the process just getting one type of chicken after another. Some are very difficult. I will take some time and insert some video describing that a little bit more later. But what I've done up there is I have taken all the, and really this has been most of my time playing, has been to just go through the process of getting these two chickens, adding these to it, getting these two chickens, adding these to it, and over and over and over again. So that's what we've been doing. And I've got, if you notice, I've got a ton of chickens. Now, the one thing, I've never messed with this mod a whole lot. I know I talked about it little bit in a previous video. But I am swimming, absolutely swimming in feathers. I mean, they are, I've got them out the ear, so I've got those voiding. And I think we need to make a new way up, by the way. And anyway, but I've got those voiding. And then the other thing is you end up with all kinds of extra eggs. Well, I set drawers up to catch the highest tier eggs. Like once I've got them, because the other thing you can do, like your crop breeding and a lot of your things, you can keep getting better and better levels. That means they produce faster, and they produce faster, and they produce a little more and have a better chance of giving you a better chicken. So what you really need to do is put 2 chickens side by side, and if you take 2 level 1 chickens, put them side by side, just let them sit, keep pulling eggs out. Eventually they'll get on their own up to 333. Take those 2 eggs and hatch them. Put those 2 side by side in these nesting things. Keep pulling eggs out, and eventually they will get up to about 5, 5, 5, 7, 9. It just varies a little bit. And you just keep doing that, and really I found you do get them up to 333, 5, 5, 5. All right, sorry about that earlier. I got a phone call I had to take, so I kind of had to cut what I was in the middle of saying off. But essentially what I was saying is I found that it's easiest if I just kind of, oh wow, our flint's already full. That's great. That is awesome. In fact, we're going to go ahead and take all this while we're talking. But I found it's easiest if you just you start out with at like a 3, 3, 3, and then go up to like a 5, 5, 5. Let them max out. Generally, that'll get you close to a not level 8 or 9s. And then once you put 2 level 8 or 9s together, 2 level 8 or 9s together, that will generally give you the 10s fairly quickly. So what I've got is I've got a lot of these going. You find the nether quartz chickens in the nether, and then you find the I wonder if these nope. Some packs those will stack. But anyway, you find the nether quartz chickens in the nether, and then you find the flint, the sand, used to be glass but not anymore, and wood in the overworld, and again only in vanilla biomes. If you're playing this pack on vanilla, you shouldn't have a problem. If you've done like me and added biomes of plenty, and then you add the chicken mods, it's going to have a hard time, or you'll have a hard time finding them. So that's kind of where things are with that, and I can't get into my own home. Fail. So anyway, now that I've like really failed here. So anyway, I've got lapis maxed out. I've got quartz maxed out. I just got flint maxed out. And what I've done is I've got a storage drawer that's collecting all the 10, 10, 10 eggs from them until it gets full. And then of each different type once they're maxed out. So yeah, let me look at this. Lapis, wood, gunpowder, sand, nether quartz, bone meal, snowball, flint. This is, that's silicone. I'm still not even sure how I ended up getting silicone, but I got it. That is clay, that is flint, and that is redstone. And then over here is where I'm getting, the yellows maxed out. And I've got those are the maxed out dye chickens that I have. And I think these should be 10, 10, 10 by now. So what's going on back here is I've got these ducts, okay? These are mostly powered by levers. I haven't put the levers in on these for the redstone control. You click these little things on there, and then we'll use these later, and I'll explain them a little bit. But basically, you put the ductwork, and then you make the servos and insert the servos where they're connected, and then you type how you want the redstone to act. And like the ones that are maxed out on over in our storage system, I just turn them off. And all these are pulling out. Now I had them going directly into this, the back of this controller, but my system I was noticing all the time that these would be full. So I got the idea of letting these unload into a chest, and I went ahead and did 2 as a buffer. Man, these things just immediately just packed out. And by the way, if you leave everything pulling out and a pipe just cut off, the items will drop down on the ground. But anyway, I put them into these chests, and then it's got several servos from the chest here pulling out of here. Probably redundant, but I'm throwing into there, and that seemed to get rid of that bottleneck. And then I left one that's unlocked. So that means anything that doesn't have a drawer, or the drawer is full, will get thrown to right here. And then that gets pulled out. That's getting pretty full. That gets pulled out and thrown into this chest. Now, all these, okay, are the things that are overflow. See the flint chicken eggs. I haven't made a drawer for them yet. These are the clay, because I mixed a couple different kinds of clay virgin together that were throwing out these random ones. And so what I've done is I put this transfer node, and let's just do this. Okay, you make them like this. Okay, gives you 4 pretty cheap. That's just that. Gives you a whole stack. This used to give you 8. They really changed that a lot now. I look for them to roll that back a little bit later. And then you can make these filters, and really simple sticks, whatever, really cheap. You put the filter in here. Now these, if you turn a redstone, give it a redstone signal, it'll lock it where it'll quit sucking items out. So that's what I've got happening here. So going to our trash can, we have feathers, oak wood, and manure. So if the system overflows with those items, they're just going to go into this trash can. And then I've got on the bottom here, I barely make it out. Okay, see and it can hold up to like 12 or 16 items, and you can see everything I've put in there on this filter. And those are all eggs, okay, that I have that are overflowing. They're coming into this tier 3 crafter. So I'll show you here this. Okay, really simple. These are what I've found to be the absolute best crafters I've ever seen. I put a tier 3 on here. I didn't need tier 3. I just needed a tier 1. Really simple, and then you just basically take the tier 1, put it in the middle of the same recipe all the way up to level 3. And this thing I put in here the recipe, and I'll set one of these up later, and I'll walk you through how to do the patterns. But that's taking the eggs into fried eggs. Those are going into this drawer, okay? See that basic drawer? And then this is pulling those eggs into a culinary generator. So I'll show you this. All right. That's, okay, any kind of foods with a meat in the middle. This furnace generator, which you just make like this, and then this you make like that, okay? And this gives an insane amount of food or power. I'm talking insane. I can't remember what it was from that, just that. So we're going to build on this. I'm going to have a power gen off of just all the extra eggs we have. And just so you think, see that says 810? This is kind of what I'm using for my food right now. I filled one of these barrels, 64 stacks of eggs as well. So we're gonna have them out our ears. We're definitely gonna expand that. So that's where we are in our chickens deal. So when I get 2 eggs to level them up, I come over here and hatch them in the different places, and then just keep replacing them. And that's how it works. So I got another project coming up that we're gonna be get ready to do here in a little bit. You might hear Discord kind of going on and off in the background. Let me check. All right. So that was one of my children coming in. Anyway, amazing thing how we forget to knock all the time on the doors that are closed. All right, we're gonna cut here. I got another project that we're going to do, but I need to relocate for it. So I know I said we had one more project I was going to try to show you, but we just ran out of time. I'm trying to clip these episodes with a little bit better timing. So we'll end that episode there, and I got a little bit of a view of some of my chickens behind me, and I've made more progress since we left off last time. There's more there and more there. Anyway, that being said, I'm glad you joined me. Hope you come back the next time. Got some neat and exciting things, and we'll kind of pick up with that there. This is Cageymoon signing off and saying have a good week.